Welcome to KBS World Radio. You're now tuned in to Korea 24's Korea Book Club, where we explore the world of Korean literature. This is our weekend replay edition, playing back our book segment from Wednesday's show. We hope you enjoy it. I'm your host, Kwon Jang-woo. This week we have with us Barry Welsh, a literary critic and long-time contributor. He joins us on the line this week. Barry, hello. It's great to talk to you again.
Yes, hello. It's great to be here.
Okay, so what do you have in store for us this week?
So today we're talking about The Wizard's Bakery. It's a quirky and heartwarming novel by Gu Byeong-mo, translated into English by Jamie Chang. And it was originally published in Korea in 2009, and English translation has just been published. And it's part coming-of-age story, part magical adventure with a dark undercurrent, but also a lot of fun. The story follows a teenage boy who runs away from a very troubled home situation and stumbles upon a 24-hour bakery unlike any other. On the surface, it looks like a normal bakery with bread and cookies and a grumpy baker, but behind the counter and in the back, magic is very much on the menu and in the recipes. So think of things like cinnamon cookies that put curses on your bullies and nasty classmates, or madeleines that can mend broken hearts, or even magical almond bars that can help you relive the best moments from your past. But of course, with these things, there's always a catch, and each of these wonderful magical treats comes with consequences. And so the young boy, he learns the ropes in this enchanted shop, but he also learns about responsibility, about forgiveness, and also just the power of a little bit of magic and self-belief in your life. It is very whimsical. It's very weird. It's also very dark, perhaps a lot darker than people might think going into the story. But given how good it is, it's no surprise that this book was very successful in Korea. And if you enjoy magical realism with hidden emotional depth, then it's definitely worth checking this one out.
Right, so the author, Gu Byeong-mo, will be familiar to many listeners as she wrote the hit novel The Old Woman with the Knife. We also reviewed another one of her books that was translated into English a few months ago, Your Neighbor's Table. But The Wizard's Bakery is actually her debut novel in Korean. So this is the first full-length novel that launched her career back in 2009, as you said. And it sounds like it is quite different from The Old Woman with the Knife and Your Neighbor's Table, a magical bakery. It sounds like it could have been another one of the books in the growing list of Korean healing fiction books, like The Delegate Dream Department Store or The Rainfall Market. But as you said, there is this dark undercurrent. And so the tone of this book, it is quite different from those K-healing books, right?
Right. It is absolutely part of that trend. It definitely kind of fits into it. A lot of those books do also sort of tackle these kind of social issues. And it is very different from her other novels in the sort of genre. But again, all three of the novels translated so far, she's sort of tackling these kind of social issues underneath the sort of genre trappings. So like in The Wizard's Bakery, it is this sort of whimsical element to it, but there is a lot of emotional depth which comes from these very kind of real and genuine problems. At first glance, or when you first you look at the cover or you read the synopsis, it definitely sounds like a quirky young adult fantasy. There's a mysterious bakery, there's magical pastries, there's a strange blue-haired assistant baking sweets that can fix broken hearts and so on. It's very playful and creative, and like some of those other healing novels that you mentioned, it has a sort of Studio Ghibli kind of atmosphere. But the deeper you go, the more you realize that that what Gu is doing here has real kind of emotional heft and weight and significance to it. So the main character, the teenage boy, he's run away from a broken, abusive home, and he's been accused of something genuinely terrible and upsetting that he didn't do. So even though there's sort of magic all around him in this bakery, it's not really a light-hearted escape or a fantasy, and it's more like these sort of magical elements reveal the emotional scars that he's carrying and that the other customers are experiencing too. They all have some kind of like a real, genuine problem. So the tone is almost like a sort of magical realism meets coming of age novel with a sort of kind of a superficial appearance of Tim Burton or Terry Gilliam movies or something like that. Quite beautiful, kind of melancholic at times and reflective, but it's really actually asking quite big questions about guilt and forgiveness and responsibility, and how do you actually solve these very big problems that lots of people have. So it might come across initially like a very sweet little story about cookies and magical superpowers, but really it's about how people process pain and whether real change is actually possible. So it's definitely more layered than it might initially appear.
Right, so layered and perhaps more painful, which is perhaps no surprise coming from the author of The Old Woman with the Knife. So it does deal with some heavy issues. How does the protagonist fit into this world of magic and moral complexity? Because it seems like the main protagonist here in the story would play an important role as the conduit for us into this world, of course. How does he help us discover what it has to offer?
Right. So again, maybe not what you're expecting from this type of story. This isn't kind of a sort of a Harry Potter character or a wide-eyed adventurer or the chosen hero or something like that. He's a quiet, emotionally bruised teenager who's escaping this very unpleasant and painful home situation. And I think, again, this is what I think has been very compelling for lots of readers is his journey and his background and the experiences that he has when he stumbles into the Wizard's Bakery. He doesn't suddenly become powerful or, develop amazing magical powers. He learns how to observe. He becomes an assistant, and slowly he becomes someone who understands that your actions have genuine consequences in the world. So he starts off by literally just wanting to escape his problems, but his experiences in the bakery, they, teach him, that you have to deal with your problems, right? You have to think about morality, you have to think about responsibility, and you have to sort of take action to deal with the things that are causing you pain. So he learns about fixing things, whether it's like broken relationships with family members or personal wounds. You can't do this with a magical cookie, right? You really have to do some real kind of emotional work or to get through things like that. And he sees how even best intentions can kind of fall apart if you're not careful. And I think in that sense he becomes a stand-in for the reader, right? He's someone navigating a strange and morally complicated world and trying to get through it with a deeper understanding of what it means to be a decent person.
Well, it does sound fascinating. Once again, that was The Wizard's Bakery by Gu Byeong-mo, translated by Jamie Chang. And that was our pick for the club this week. Barry, thank you for that thoughtful review. Have a great week, and we'll catch up again next time. Take care.
Okay, take care.